Welcome back to another build video, y'all. Today we have the best winger build for season 2 that I've been rocking so far. Let's not waste any of y'all time. Let's hop right into it. Let's get it. So first, for your archetype, for my center builds, I usually prefer them to be able to play more of the kind of two-way game, but with my winger builds, I definitely prefer more of that offense ability rather than defense. Obviously, I want to be able to play defense. I'm not completely sacrificing all my defense, but that's why we are going with a sniper archetype. For height and weight, you already know what we're going to be rocking. We're going to be going 5'9", 160 pounds. This actually is going to give us the max amount of speed possible. Like I said, for my winger build, I do prefer that offensive ability and also that speed, which is why we're going 5'9" rather than 6'1" like I did on my center and my D-man build. Shooting hand preference is completely up to you, and of course, X factors we will come back to as always. First, for your technique attributes, like always, I am going to completely max out our skating, so we're going to add 7 to speed, add 6 to agility, and we're actually going to add 2 to balance, then just take 10 off your slap shot accuracy and 8 off your wrist shot accuracy. And the reason for this is really quite simple. We're a sniper, so we can sacrifice our shot a bit, but it's still nice to at least have that 80 overall threshold for both your slap shot and wrist shot accuracy. Next, for your power attributes, we're just going to add 6 to acceleration because of course we want to be as fast as possible on our winger build. We're going to add 2 to puck control to help us play those lanes a little bit, and we're going to add 4 to endurance as well for when we do get a hit inevitably. Since we are a little bit smaller, I of course want to have a little bit more endurance just to kind of make up for that. And we're just going to take 6 from slap shot power and 5 from wrist shot power, and reason being is quite simple. Like I said, that's the whole point of us going with a sniper archetype. 85 and 84 power is still plenty for your build, I promise. After that, for your playstyle attributes, we're going to add 8 to passing just because since you are a sniper, this is kind of what is a little bit low. So we do of course want to get our passing up so that we can have increased accuracy and power on our passes. Then we're going to add 2 to body checking and 5 to defensive awareness. I know I said I wasn't super focused on the defense for this build, but of course we still want to be able to have some type of defense on a winger build, and being able to play those passing lanes and being able to at least get those bumps every once in a while on a tiny build will benefit you. And of course, we're going to take 10 off our stick checking because I was honestly saying it before, I don't think stick checking is super important attribute. As long as you're smart with your poke checks and stick lists for the most part, I don't have an issue getting penalties. So I even need to tell y'all what we're going to do with our tenacity attributes anymore. You already know we're going to add 7 to hand eye, add 7 to strength, and simply take 10 off your durability and 10 off your shot blocking because they're just not useful in Eashl. And finally, for your tactics attributes, like I said, this is going to be my winger build, so I am not focusing at all on the face-offs for this build. If you wanted to try this build at center, you're more than welcome to. You can kind of tweak the attributes a bit, but we are going to add 10 to deking and 1 to discipline, then just take 5 off face-offs and 10 off your fighting skill. Now, going back to X factors, as always, I'm going to show y'all what I'm rocking, and then I will give y'all some substitutes if you don't want to necessarily use what I am using. So the X factors that I've been rocking on this build that have been working really well for me so far are gold wheels, blue quick release, and blue warrior. If you wanted to change up the tiers of these attributes, you could really use like any combination. If you wanted red warrior because you're wasting too much stamina, and go gold of both quick release and wheels, or if you wanted blue wheels, gold quick release, and blue warrior, you could also do that as well for the same AP. For wheels, it almost feels like a necessity to have this because of course it does drain some stamina when you do get that burst of speed on either offense or trying to get back on defense. But if you do not have wheels, it feels like I'm at such a disadvantage and people just literally burn by me every single time. So I like to use at least some form of wheels on pretty much every single one of my builds. For quick release, no matter what tier of this ability you're running, it gives you super cheesy animations. It does not matter if you're playing an AI or a human goalie. Half the time it like does not even allow them to react even if they're in perfect position. And of course, warrior just kind of counter that small size. You're occasionally going to play dudes with truck and everything like that. Even if it's gold truck, when you're on a 5'9", 160 build, you're going to get crushed and lose a lot of stamina, so warrior will help a lot with that. If you wanted some red abilities instead rather than blue quick release and blue warrior, I think this is also a super deadly combo as well. If you keep that warrior on but go elite with that and then also go elite backhand beauty, this is just as cheesy as quick release but instead on the backhand, and you also get an increase for your passes as well. And both warrior and backhand beauty are both only 40 AP each. Or if you would rather have an ability to avoid the hits, this elite edges combined with the 97 agility, you will be absolutely deadly as a skater. And of course, you could go with the classic truculence or any of these other defensive abilities like stick 'em up if you wanted to try that on red rather than a backhand beauty or something like that, or warrior. You could also go quick pick and potentially elite quick pick once you do unlock that as well. This is the winger build that I'm rocking with for season 2. If you did enjoy this build and you are enjoying these videos, please feel free to drop a like, comment any other builds you want to see me create in the SHL down below, whether it's player builds or just play styles in general, and of course sub with notice on so you don't miss any of these bangers in the future. I greatly appreciate you boys watching. Hope to see you on the next one. Peace out, y'all.